There is nothing like girlfriend in Hindi. Ladki dost. If I talk about the girlfriend, it is ladki dost. There is no meaning in ladki dost, right? So
Hmm.
the word was beloved, but Englishman has no depth of knowing the love or that what is the importance of beloved. So that's why they started doing girlfriend thing, right? You're
Hmm.
getting me. So I'm explaining the things at the precise point, right? So that's why every whole world is right now talking about girlfriends, and they left the word like beloved, and they
Hmm.
come at the point where just they are in the depth of girlfriend. They cannot go at the depth of beloved. They
Hmm.
cannot experience that feeling.
Hmm.
Okay.
Right. Good evening, Anand.
Good evening. How are you doing?
All well. What about you?
Ah, doing awesome.
How was your weekend?
Weekend very busy, but
Very busy.
beautiful.
Do you work on weekends?
Of course, I work on every day.
Do you take any weekly off?
No, I have off for every day, like for 3 hours at least. Like in morning time, I give 3 hours to myself. So kind of, it is holiday for me. I take
Oh,
holiday every day. I
so it's
forget
like,
the world for 3 hours completely.
and what do you do when you completely forget the world for those 3 hours?
Nothing, whatever I want to do, I do. If I want to dance, I dance. If I want to sing, I sing. If I want to cycling, I do cycling. If whatever I want to do, I do.
Whatever you feel like doing in that particular moment, you go
Yeah.
ahead and do that. All right. Did you do something interesting today? What did you feel like doing today during those three
Uh,
hours?
Nothing, exhausted because of lots of works and these computer screen mobile phones sucks of energy. Yeah,
Oh, is it? Computer is draining a lot of your energy?
I mean working on computer or phone.
Working on computer. How do
Yeah.
you protect your eyes if you're working a lot of time in front of the computer?
To be honest, I do not wear glass so far. So yeah, I think I should wear glass now because I'm working for long hours there.
Right. You can at least wear that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So today's topic is actually interesting. In the last couple of sessions, we have getting a lot of hypothetical situations.
Mm-hmm.
Today is not a hypothetical topic. It's about vocabulary and something
Yes.
I think you will have a lot of things to talk about.
Of course, vocabulary. I understand. This is
Hmm.
very important aspects in spoken English.
Right. Correct. So are you a person who consciously try to learn a lot of words?
Of
Do you do
course,
that?
yeah, I do. I do. Because I think, speaking English is directly proportional to vocabulary. As many
Hmm.
vocabulary as good as you can be at English, guys. So that's
Hmm.
why, yeah, I'm always conscious about learning vocabulary.
Hmm. What happened? Are you disturbed today? Is
No,
something bothering you?
there is a apartment just behind this apartment. People are making noise, so I'm getting little bit distracted, right? So don't worry. Go ahead.
Hmm. All right. Okay. So let's say you're learning new vocabulary. How do you incorporate it while you're speaking to somebody? What are your techniques?
No, I don't feel like if I'm learning any new vocabulary today, I would be able to use it. It takes me some time to, bring it in my sentence structures, right? So, yeah,
Hmm.
sometimes it happens. The vocabulary is very easy to keep remember, so I can use. I learned right now and I could use anytime. But some vocabulary are very, like kind of its pronunciation is crazy or it is not related to your term, like their pronunciation or things are different. So sometimes I will have to pass through that word 3 times 4 times to memorize it or to keep remember in my mind, right? So
Hmm.
it depends on words, right? But yeah, I yes, I try to use new words.
You try to use it. All right. So there are some interesting questions in this particular slide. So I'll ask those questions. You come up with whatever that you have been naturally doing it. Okay.
Okay,
Anything that you feel like telling.
of
So
course.
the first one is, what are some of the new vocabulary words that you have recently learned?
I don't
Name any.
remember.
You don't remember.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. How do you usually learn new words? Through which mode?
Listening, through
Hmm.
listening, most of the time through listening. Yeah.
Through
But
listening.
there
All
are lots of methods, right? If I'm passing on the road, if I could find new word, yeah, it is source of learning for me. I would pen it down or I will just Google in my mobile phone, right? So
right.
this is also a method. So if I'm writing any articles, right? So if I find new word, I just try to learn it and try to know the context and the meaning, everything. So
Hmm.
yeah.
All right. Okay. What is the most difficult part of learning and using new vocabulary for you?
Most difficult. Nothing is difficult. Like it depends on vocabulary. If I could remember, I could know the context, and I can easily use at any time, right? So yeah, one thing is very important for me to understand the context of words. So sometimes yeah, it happens like there are so many words which will be very difficult to understand its context, right? So that point of time, I have really a hard time to use that word, right? But
Hmm.
most of the time, if I know the context, I don't have any problem. I could use that word at any point of time, and that's what make your English different from others. Like look at the people; they would just speak English that is related to Englishman or Americans, but our language is quite different from theirs, right? Our way of thinking, way of imbibing things, culture, everything is different. So it is not like sometimes it happens the things that you want to narrate and you want to go in depth, that is not possible by learning the British English, right? Because they
Hmm.
don't have that feeling, they don't have that guts, deepness, depth in their language. So how can I go there? For example, I'm talking about the one word is beloved. So Englishman has two words for this, one is girlfriend, other is beloved. But look at India, Indians only use the word beloved, that is depth meaning. Like beloved means you are feeling half, without somebody. There is nothing like girlfriend in Hindi, ladki dost. If I talk about the girlfriend, it is ladki dost. There is no meaning in ladki dost, right? So
Hmm.
the word was beloved, but Englishman has no depth of knowing the love or that what is the importance of beloved. So that's why they started doing girlfriend thing, right? You're
Hmm.
getting me. So I'm
Yes.
explaining the things at the precise point, right? So
Hmm.
that's why every whole world is right now talking about girlfriends, and they left the word like beloved, and they
Hmm.
come at the point where just they are in the depth of girlfriend. They cannot go at the depth of beloved. They
Hmm.
cannot experience that feeling.
Hmm.
Got it?
Right. I've heard this in terms of Sanskrit language. There are a lot of things where I've heard a lot of people saying that there are certain languages which cannot with which we cannot make another person understand because those words are not there in the language. Language
Yes.
is limiting.
Yeah, their feeling is limited, their life is limited, they cannot feel that word, they do not have origin of that word, right? So I'm not talking about only Indian terms. There are also other countries in the world where
Hmm.
they have something in their language or culture that we do not have or somebody cannot have.
Hmm. True, true. That is so true. So you can see language is limiting,
Yes.
isn't it? Language is definitely limiting. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's look at another aspect.
Consciousness is not limited.
What is
Once
not limited?
consciousness,
Yes,
consciousness is not limited.
definitely. That is all there is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is all there is. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, another aspect. What is the best advice you have received about learning vocabulary
I
that you
don't
received?
remember the advice, but uh, I don't remember, to be honest.
Mhm. All right. All right. Do you usually wonder about the origin of different words?
Of course, I on that. And you talked about your last question was, yeah, somebody had given me you advice. So
Hmm.
people usually give you advice, go and mug up the words, right? So I don't feel like mugging up the word. The best
Hmm.
thing is that write down the word somewhere and try to consciously look at the word again and again, and there would be a time where that word would be in your mind automatically because you are putting your effort again and again. You are recalling that word in your mind, so that is
Hmm.
the right way. And even if you're mugging up, for 10 minutes, yeah, you can remember it within 10 minutes, but after 10 minutes or 2 days, 3 days, you forget the word. So,
True.
word is something that you have to constantly remind it in your mind for several days. Yeah.
Right.
After that, it would be in your subconscious mind, and you can use that word at any point of time once it is in your subconscious mind.
True, true. So you're talking about the power of repetition, isn't
Yeah,
it? You're connecting it
repetition.
to biology. Correct,
Yeah.
correct. That is so true. Yes. And we should also connect it to the context, isn't it? For that word to
Mhm.
come, for us to
Of
use it
course.
at the correct context. Very
Yeah.
important.
I explained you before that what is the importance of learning the context of the word.
True, true, true. My mother used to always tell me during
Mhm.
my younger days, there was no mobile and Google. So
Mhm.
whenever I was reading a book, she used to tell me, don't use the dictionary until and unless you're not able to understand the context. She always told me to read the sentence and the next sentence first. So I used to always get the meaning, and that is a better way of learning because we understand the context and the word, right?
Mhm.
Something which you told me, isn't it, from
Mhm.
your own experience?
Yeah.
Right. All right. Let's look at another aspect of this topic. Okay. Do you refer to the vocabulary words sent in a session document? Do you do that?
No,
No, you don't do that.
no, I don't do that.
All right. Okay. Recently, a learner was asking me, "Ma'am, I have taken a dictionary and I've started learning the words with A, but I'm not
Mhm.
able to remember." I said, "Why are you doing that? It's impossible. It's of no use, isn't it? What's the point of learning so many words
And listen,
starting
I
from
have,
A?"
yeah, I have seen so many people who has been, learning all the grammar rules, mugging the whole dictionary. But it is nonsense, right? Just try to learn the thing that is useful in your daily life first, right?
True, true, true,
So whatever you are learning, try to digest it, try to keep in your mind, try to speak and like be practical with the language. So
true,
mugging up or learning, it is not gonna help you in
true.
speaking.
And when we keep too many words in our mind, it's like we are closing ourselves for new things. It's like we are making our brain full. We have to keep it empty so that whatever is required, we can use it, isn't it? So that we can learn new things. Mm. Today,
I
you see
think
me. Yeah, tell
go
me.
ahead.
Tell me.
Please go ahead.
No, you were about to add
Okay, I
something.
was about to tell you, no, it is good to learn like synonyms of words because sometimes it gives you a lot of opportunity to, I mean, sometimes if you are stuffing, you are not remembering that word that you wanted to use, you can use the synonyms. So it is good to learn words. But
Hmm.
sometimes I see people, they try to learn each and every word written in the dictionary, which is very difficult task and it is nonsense. Yeah. You should only learn those things which is coming in your way. For example, I'm right now reading one story and I found any word, then need to learn that word, right? Instead
Hmm.
of, remembering the whole dictionary.
Hmm. Have you ever listened to somebody's speech and got stuck at a particular vocabulary he or she used because you could not understand the word and you got stuck at that particular word?
Sometimes it happens, right? Because vocabulary is something which is a vast, very vast. So, sometimes the people can use the new word that you would be not aware about. And yeah, you can have difficult time. So it happens, yeah, sometimes, yes. But right
I
now, I
be
don't feel like anything like that because I think I have enough. I mean, always, there is room to improve your everything, in language.
hmm.
But I think I have enough vocabulary to understand even native speakers.
Hmm. Right. We can say you're at a pace where you're comfortable with the language,
Yeah,
but
I'm
you would
very
like to
comfortable.
keep improving. Hmm. Right.
Yeah,
All right.
always there is chance.
Hmm. Right. Okay. If you do not understand a new word, how do you find out its meaning? I mean, these are practical things which you have done. I'm just asking you.
Mhm. If I do not understand the word,
How do you find its meaning?
let me tell you, in intermediate, a few years back, I used to use that paperback dictionary, right? So I would open the dictionary, I would search the word and know the meaning, right?
Hmm.
But from couples of years, I have switched to online dictionary. So yeah, I have Google and other one online dictionary as well. So I use this dictionary right now because Google gives me context and exact use of the word. That's I love.
Yes. And also, this Google suggests you synonyms. It's
Yeah,
much more easier for us to remember when we're
remember
connecting it
and
with.
recall all the synonyms of the same word.
True, true. Yes. All right. Do you focus on the length of the word?
No, I just focus on the meaning and context of the word instead of length of the word.
Hmm. Have you ever misused a word and did you find it like you were in a comedy situation because of that?
Of course, I have misused the word, but I don't feel like I was in comedy situation. Like, I
Oh,
could, because whenever you do not use the right word, your mind gives you symbol. Yeah, you have done something wrong, right? So it happens kind of. Sometimes if you are not finding the right word, then
hmm.
you could use different word. It happens especially for learners, right, who have not been in this environment. So yeah, it happens with me sometimes.
And has the other person understood that you have misused
Yeah,
the word?
yeah,
Okay.
like the single word doesn't make any difference in sentence, right? People could understand your body language, context, and that is very important thing. So I'm very good at sending my message with
Hmm.
my body language more than the words. I think your verbal, your, what do we say, more than the verbal communication, your
Hmm.
aura or everything conveys your message.
That is so true. All right. Okay. You did not share any interesting experience. Maybe you don't remember. That is okay.
I don't remember, but I told you, yes, it has happened, and I could easily understand. Yeah, I have done something wrong, right? Like I have used different word. I should have used right word there, but yeah, I made something.
Hmm.
I made some mistake.
Have you ever corrected another person when they mispronounced or when they misused a word?
No, I never.
Never.
Yeah, I've never
Oh,
corrected.
not even with your students?
Of course, as students, yeah, I used to be English teacher, in 2017, 18, and till 19. I used to be an English teacher. I used
Hmm.
to teach English grammar to my students, right? So, kind of, yeah, on those days I was teaching grammar, so I don't feel like, I was focusing on pronunciation. Even my pronunciation were horrible, so who cares about that pronunciation of those guys, right? But
Hmm.
I was teaching English as well those
Hmm.
days. Yeah, even right now I'm teaching on my YouTube channel.
Hmm. All right. Okay. Now, why is learning vocabulary so interesting for you? What are the benefits of learning new words?
Now, see, learning vocabularies are like, what can I want to explain it in different ways so one can understand it, right? So, it gives you freedom, right? So, for example, if you are confined in 2 by 2 room, would you feel good? No, you need some other more big
Yes, you
space,
need
right?
more room. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like so, always you want to expand the boundary, and that's what is in language. If you're learning the vocab, it means you are expanding your boundary. You are making more space to walk around, right?
Hmm.
So that's what I love. And yeah, vocabulary is something like that. I have realized is the, for example, right now, if I have very limited vocabulary, just I would know one vocabulary of one context, then do you think I'll be able to explain you anything? No, I wouldn't be, because sometimes, I wouldn't get the right word that I was looking for. So
Hmm.
in that context, I have to learn different synonyms of the same word.
Hmm. Right. And also, vocabulary helps us to make concise and precise statements, isn't it? Rather than
Statement, yes.
explain unnecessarily. Yes, that is
Otherwise, you will start beating around the bush,
true.
right?
True.
So, and if you have the precise vocabulary, you can, be straightforward to your point.
Yes. Correct. That is so true. Right. Now, why do you think we keep forgetting new words when we learn? We all at times, isn't it? We learn something but we forget it. Why do you think?
I think it is human nature, like it's our memory. Like we forget lots of things in our life. Like look at how many horrible students how many horrible incidents we guys go through, but we forget it, right? So that's the same thing is vocabulary and everything in human beings. So yeah, it is just human nature. So one should not worry about it, right? Even
Hmm.
if you are forgetting the words, yeah, don't feel like you are only the one who is forgetting. Yeah, everybody uh, does it. So yeah, it is not a big point, but the matter of fact is that uh, at the point of explain, like the point at which you want to use the word, you are able to use or not. You have other words for that or not.
Hmm. Right. So let's say if you're learning 10 words, if you at least remember two words, that's a great thing, isn't it?
Yeah, the great thing, like you can explain the situation very well with those 2 words.
Right. All right.